Look what is coming, y'all. We've got a major warm-up coming up into portions of the north, and especially the north and east in terms of that temperature anomaly as we go into your first week of June, late May, those last few days of May, and into early June. Welcome into One Nation Weather Forecast for America, but some of these blue zones as well. I do want to point out we'll still have some of that heat. We'll get into that later on, but for now we want to cover the current pattern. Your Wednesday evening setup looks like this. The Storm Prediction Center upgraded your Wednesday risk to a level 3 for portions of eastern New Mexico and portions of Texas for us here. As a troughing boundary gets going in that area, we have a lot of rain going on with these pop-up showers and storms from really portions of western Missouri on westward from there, all the way back on up into the mountain west. Yeah, a lot of west, right? We also have a kind of a clipper-like system that would produce that snowfall in the northeast during the winter, producing some of that rainfall along the I-95 corridor as the day ends for us here. Also, some areas of low pressure in Florida producing some rain there and around the Gulf Coast. That area is going to push over the waters, not become tropical, but certainly produce some tropical moisture. And we'll get a look at that coming up as well. So here's that severe weather outlook for your Wednesday, May 24th of 2023. You can see level 2 threat goes all the way on down into portions of southwest Texas first here, and all the way on up into portions of southeast Colorado, Pueblo, Denver, at least having level 1 risk. That does include San Angelo, right on the edge of San Antonio as well. But Amarillo westward, that's where we have that best threat right along that Texas-New Mexico border for some of these storms to produce, especially this, yeah, that big hail. Some of those hailstones, a good bit of them at least 1 inch to 2 inches in diameter, which is plenty enough to damage your vehicles, your roofs, and even hurt you if it hits you. But we could see some isolated stones coming down in some of these storms that get all the way on up 2 to 3 inches in diameter, some of them tennis ball, baseball sized. So that will be some of our max hail, but very damaging hail for us there. We'll also see the potential for a little bit of hail in Florida out of some of their storms this afternoon. Now, your Wednesday 7 p.m. time frame for you here, your central time, you can see we have some of these showers and storms already firing on off into some of these areas. They'll continue to push on off towards the east, so Amarillo area maybe getting some of those impacts between around 9 and 11 p.m. These storms will not be for everyone, but some of these individual cells that get going. Again, not only the hail, but also gusty winds, 60 to 70 miles per hour. Some brief tornadoes in a few of these storms because they will have a supercellular characteristic to them at times, so we've got to keep an eye on that. We've got a kind of a cool frontal boundary pushing southward. No, we will not have cool air in these zones for all the rest of the time for us here in May. Again, that's coming up. You can see more of that rainfall further west, more of the storms in the plains as we go into your Thursday. A little bit of some rainfall coming up along the Appalachians and into southeast Tennessee as we go into your Thursday, with that rainfall along the Carolina coast, Georgia, and Florida coast for us here. Now here's your Thursday high temperatures. Notice we've got temperatures not too unseasonable, but certainly in the 80s, pretty close to 90 in many spots for you here in the mid-south. We've got some temperatures in the 60s to near 70 in the northeast. Enjoy it. You might have some 90s coming up. We've also got some 80s and 90s back into portions of the west. Now here's your severe weather outlook for Thursday, May 25th, 2023. And I will tell you here that very same zone that has the level 2 to level 3 threat today, I wouldn't be shocked if the Storm Prediction Center upgrades us to a level 3 threat as we go into your Thursday, with those isolated 60 to 65 mile per hour gusts possible at this time, 1 to 1.5 inch diameter stones, a weak tornado or two possible. But again, I wouldn't be shocked if some 2-inch hail got going here, which is why the Storm Prediction Center may upgrade this threat. And it does look like some of these popcorn storms will get going in portions of Nebraska and Kansas as well by 4 p.m. Central Time. Notice how the storms really begin to evolve around 6 areas of Kansas getting in on some of these storms as the evening continues. But notice how we get some of these supercell characteristics as these storms as the day goes on. This is why it looks like a little bit more than a level 1 threat to me. But if these storms stay on the weaker side and just kind of maintain the supercell look to them, but not really get the characteristics that come out of the supercells, then we'll see if this really needs to be upgraded. But certainly some heavy rain, some gusty winds, some of that hail, and again a brief weak tornado. We also have the potential for some of these storms to go severe in the northwest. We had that for your Wednesday. We've got this for your Thursday as well. Some of these storms again producing brief wind and hail potential for you here, especially into Montana. Now here's your Thursday flood risk. You can see that goes all the way back into the mountains of California, the Redding area. We have some of these flood risk zones going on up into portions of Helena, Montana. We also have the flood risk go back coming off the Rockies, New Mexico, Texas, again, where these storms are, as well as into South Florida. Again, Friday evening, here we go again, rinse and repeat, more of these storms along that same area, and again, more of these storms producing potential supercell characteristics. We need to keep an eye on those. Now, shifting gears to the southeast pattern, and then we'll get into that heat wave. You can see it's looking like some pretty hefty rain moving on into the southeast Friday and into Saturday. Yes, I know, right in time for your Memorial Day weekend, unfortunately. It does look like our main computer models, the GFS, the European from tropicaltidbits.com, those are suggesting that we will get some of this heavier rain to push on in. Hopefully by Sunday for us here, we'll see some of this start to weaken, but I think the energy left over from it will create some pop-up thunderstorms as we go into Memorial Day. But at least your Memorial Day itself looks a little bit nicer in the southeast. But certainly the GFS model producing the blue areas are where we're seeing ½ an inch to an inch and a half. You can see some of those zones. That's going to be the most widespread total. But we'll see some of these purple areas where we could pick up 2 to 3 inches of rain right along the immediate coastline, as well as into some areas inland in North Carolina and Virginia, as well as South Carolina. The European model wants to put more of this into South Carolina and Georgia, right along the Savannah River. It looks like for you there. We've got more of this going on into Virginia as well. And it looks like areas further north, closer to Washington, D.C., Ellicott City, those areas will stay on the drier side with this as the models look right now. But the chance for 2 inches or more of additional rain after Wednesday. It looks low into portions of Florida along the I-95 corridor there, but we've got a medium chance from portions of southern West Virginia going on down through, again, portions of Georgia for us there, the Athens area, getting in on that medium risk. Now, your pattern as we go June 1st through 2nd, 2023, look at this area of high pressure that's going to be dominating portions of the north. Yes, we will get some pop-up storms that could tap into this heat that's going to develop. Yes, some of those storms could be severe. But right now the big story looks to be that heat itself. This is the temperature anomaly as we go into June 1st, according to the European model. Again, hot, but it's more near average as you go further south. It's really in these northern areas where the heat is going to be more abnormal. Some of those brighter pinks is where we're seeing the 10 to 20 degree below average range. Even some spots maybe closer to 30 degrees below average. It is going to be intense. Even the Pacific Northwest staying on the hotter side. And this is really the remnants of that pattern that was in the Pacific Northwest last week, producing that heat there. As we go into your June 1st, 2023, these are the forecasted high temps from the European model. Look at this. We've got the temperatures in the 90s. Again, that's pretty normal at times into portions of the Mid-South, but certainly some of these 90s streaming northward into Missouri, 96 and 89 and 91 into places like Springfield, Illinois. Those temperatures are abnormal. We'll also see some temperatures near 90 in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. It is going to be hot. And also notice I wanted to point out some of these areas that could be hotter this time of the year, the Southwest, areas in the Southeast. Those are at least a little bit cooler as it looks right now, so we'll keep an eye on that. Right now, your chance for 90-plus degree temperatures, May 30th through June 2nd, looks low, coming off the Dakotas, portions of Nebraska, but the highest zone in the medium zone. That includes the Northeast for medium. The high risk is going to be in the Mid-South, portions of the central and Midwestern states for us here, so we'll keep an eye on that. For now, go ahead and subscribe to One Nation Weather if you like these forecasts for America by hitting the like button as well. Here's your credits. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day, everyone. More updates coming soon in videos and shorts.